Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Wyze Battery Cam Pro. Alright, I know what you're maybe thinking if you've been following the channel for a while. Why are we looking at a security camera? It occurred to me that maybe you guys need some security in your garage. And perhaps your garage is detached and maybe doesn't even have power. The trouble with a traditional Wyze camera, or any other security camera for that matter, is the fact that it needs to be powered. So looking at something like the Battery Cam Pro here, it eliminates that issue of needing to find a power source for it. Let's talk a little bit about what got me into security cameras and why I have cameras everywhere. I'm slightly obsessed.
Here, there, right there. There's another one. Here's two. One, two. Here. A couple of spares. One there, one there.
Can you spot the one in this room?
Right there. One there. There's one right there. Here's another. And there's one right over here.
It's been several years ago now. One morning I was getting ready for work and I headed out to my truck to find that somebody had been rifling through everything. My glove box was open, my center console was open, and obviously somebody had been rutting around in there trying to find something. Honestly, it's hard to describe what that feels like. I feel kind of like, unless it's happened to you, you don't know the feeling. But there's so many emotions. It's like, what were they looking for? Did they find anything? And you're trying to take inventory and remember what you had in your center console, what you had in your glove box. Honestly, to this day, I have no idea if they ended up taking anything or not. I couldn't find anything that was noticeably missing. Hard to say. Were they looking for money? Were they looking for cigarettes? Were they looking for gift cards? Were they looking for wallets? I mean, what were they looking for? I have no idea. That's the problem. I don't know who it was. I don't know what they were looking for. I don't know if they found anything. I don't know what time of day it was. I really hate to use the word violated because I don't want to possibly offend somebody who's actually been in a traumatic situation, far more severe than having their car rifled through or whatever. But I don't know any other words that fit. You feel anxious, feel a bit stressed. I don't even know. I don't have the words. Not a good feeling. Every once in a while I still think about it. And though it doesn't trouble me, it doesn't keep me up at night, I'm not scared or worried that I'm going to be robbed. You just wonder, like, what were they looking for? What did they find? Was it right away as I was coming out and they got scared off, or who knows, but then you think, okay, now I need to lock my door in my own driveway. Like, how dare they? Like, what kind of person would break into somebody's car, into their vehicle, and start rifling through things? Like, I don't know. Just so many emotions. After that, I decided that it was time to get a camera pointed at my vehicle in my driveway. And that way, if it ever happened again, maybe I couldn't catch them, but I could at least identify them, or at least find out if they took anything or what time it was that they were there or whatever. So anyway, started out with one camera and now I have all of the cameras that you just saw. So that was at my old property and I had the cameras already, so I just kind of started putting them up around here. There was a few security cameras when we moved into this house. They're actually not Wyze. They're a different brand, which also work fairly well. But I've just decided to stick with the Wyze ecosystem because it's all in one app that way, and I can see most of my cameras just by looking in that app then. Kind of a long story, but that's kind of what got me interested. So I'm thinking now I've got this Battery Cam Pro and I wanted to take a look at it, and I decided it was probably worth making a video about because I thought, well, maybe you guys have a garage or a shed where you maybe store your motorcycles, and maybe you want a little bit of security just knowing that your stuff, your motorcycle, your tools, things like that are at least somewhat secure. And if not secure, at least maybe you can catch somebody in the act so you have something to go to the police with or whatever. A lot of the reason we have cameras around the house for us personally is so we can keep an eye on the kids, so we can keep an eye on things when we're not home. We know if there's packages being delivered, we know what's going on. It's pretty handy to have, just to be able to pull up the app and go, oh, there's notifications here, somebody was at the door, or something happened to one of the kids, we want to see video of what was going on or whatever. It helps solve some problems every once in a while. It helps solve some fights between the boys and things like that. Let's take a look at this, get into it, and see what we think. Now, Wyze does have an older version of something like this, a wireless camera. That was their Wyze Outdoor Cam, and this has some pretty good features over that. With the Wyze Outdoor Cam, you needed a base station connected, and it had to be within that range of the base station to the camera so that you could get your video recordings and things like that. The battery life was not good on the Wyze Outdoor Cam, but they do have a solar panel to connect to it, so that definitely helped, because now the sun just kind of powers it, takes care of it, and maintains it, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm using that on the other side of the shed where I don't have power, and there was just kind of a blind spot in the yard. I decided I had the camera, so why not put it out there? For me personally, this camera is going to go in the upstairs hallway. Again, just another camera to keep an eye on things, find out what the boys are up to if they're being a little suspicious and things like that. And in the unlikely event that somebody gets into the house, it's just another camera. It's not in an invasive place like a bedroom or something like that. Hopefully it would be able to be used for evidence if we ever needed it for anything. So yeah, this camera is going to mount in the hallway where there's no outlet nearby. I didn't want to run an extension cord down to the floor outlet, because for one thing, somebody could just unplug that. Where if this is up in the corner near the ceiling, yeah, adults especially, could reach it and pull it down. Maybe not super likely. Mainly it's just to keep the kids in line. So this comes with the camera, the battery pack, a charging cable, and your mount. This camera records in 2K resolution. You should be able to get some nice crispy video out of it. And since it's Wi-Fi 2.5 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, you should be able to stream the playback and live video in pretty clear 2K resolution as well. Now, I was on top of things and I charged this battery pack ahead of time in preparation for this video, so it should still be charged up, and you see the status light was lit up. Now we can open up the Wyze app, add a camera, and begin setup. Underneath, we're going to hold the setup button.
Ready to connect.
And just the app will walk you through setup. We're going to connect to our 5 gigahertz internet, and we got the notification that the Wyze Battery Cam Pro is connected. So that is super easy. We're going to skip mounting tips because I think I've got that pretty well figured out. And here we can name the device. Wyze Battery Cam Pro. I subscribe to their Cam Plus plan, so I'm going to go ahead and connect it to that. So that's basically it for setup for this camera. So the real beauty of the Battery Cam Pro is just that you can put it anywhere. You don't have to be close to an outlet. So it really gives you some versatility. So again, going back to if you have a shed or a detached garage that doesn't have power accessible, you can still have a camera set up in there to kind of keep an eye on your things. When the batteries die, and they're supposed to last quite a while in this camera, but when it does die, you can pull it out, recharge it, reinstall it, or obviously you could buy an extra battery pack or two so that you always have a fresh battery to put in it. You can just hot swap it and you're good to go. So I'm recording right now so I can share a clip with you to see the quality of this video. And I haven't gone through the settings yet to make sure it's in 2K. I should probably do that. And I was only in HD. So recording again, we are now recording in 2K resolution. So I'll be able to share that with you guys and show you the comparison between the high definition and 2K. I don't know if you'll be able to see any difference or not. We'll find out. So there's a ton of different settings in here you can go through. I will probably link the video from Wise down below this because I don't want to go through all the settings with you and completely bore all you guys. If you're interested, you can just check out the video from Wise. He goes through everything. This camera does have a spotlight on it, which can be triggered by motion as well, which is also kind of nice if you've got a shed or a garage without power, because once it sees you, it'll trigger the light and give you a little bit extra light to see what's going on in case you're trying to stumble around your garage at night or whatever. The spotlight is pretty useful, but also it may help deter would-be criminals or whatever. Keep people honest as they can be, considering they're wandering around your garage. You spend a few dollars on a camera and maybe it helps. Maybe it solves an issue for you. Maybe it prevents an issue for you. You never know. So I'm a big fan of the Wise cameras. Like I said, I have them all over the place. I feel like, for my use case, I like them. They're pretty dependable. There is issues here and there where maybe it doesn't trigger a recording or something like that. And that is frustrating, but also you figure the price of Wise cams is on the low end. That's kind of what Wise is all about. And in some cases, you get what you pay for. I feel like, for me, the Wise cameras do a good enough job where I feel justified in spending my money with Wise. I like the interface. I like how everything's in one app, and I've been just happy with them. I've been using them for several years now, and I really can't complain. Could they be better? Maybe. Do I really have anything to compare them to? Not really. I've got a few cameras that are a different brand, and I feel like it's kind of on the same level. They don't always pick up things that you think they should pick up. I mean, we brought in a 10 by 20 shed and nothing picked up a shed moving across the yard. It's very strange. You can move an entire building and not one of the cameras gets triggered. But they have gotten a lot better with their AI. They have package detection, pet detection, person detection, vehicle detection. And I think for the most part, it's been pretty reliable, pretty practical. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Good idea, bad idea? What do you think about having security cameras all over the place? I like to have them in the garage. I'm not that concerned about theft. We do have a lot of kids in the neighborhood, and I just like the idea of if somebody borrows something, I can find out who it was and hopefully figure out what they did with my tool. Since they didn't put the screwdriver back or they didn't put the wrench back or things like that. The kids are pretty good about knowing, like, this is my good stuff, stay out of it. I have tools on a piece of pegboard for the kids, so they're pretty respectful. But I just kind of peace of mind, I guess, knowing that my stuff is safe and people are leaving it alone. Maybe I have trust issues. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. All right, guys, thanks a lot for checking out this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and we will see you in the next one. Stay safe as always. Cheers.